Yo, what is up? It's me and I'm sunburned, but we made it. We made it to the finish line of the World Cup, which means it's time to recap the last 30 days with my World Cup and rewind, or as I like to call it, word. And I'm gonna do that by giving you my top 11 teams, players, and things, a combination of all three of those that happened during this tournament, which may or may not include my top 11 players as well. If you're lucky, I'll do it. Okay, fine, I'll do it. So let's get started with number 11, which is being reserved for the host Russia, who put aside all of the BS that their country is currently embroiled in to welcome the rest of the world to their home with open arms by putting on a great show, which they did, and which was highlighted by their national team getting out of their group, which I did predict in my updated previews, and more on those in a second because I still haven't gone back to see how many I got right. I'm assuming 16 out of 16. But they also heroically beat Spain on penalties, which was huge, before heroically losing to Croatia in penalties in the quarterfinals. Though it was a historic run overall and something they should be very proud of. Now, if everyone in the world, not just Russia, but everyone, could be as welcoming and kind to each other when the World Cup is not playing, well, that would be awesome. Also, speaking about my updated previews, let's quickly run through those, shall we? In Group A, I had Uruguay and Russia going through, so I nailed that. And then Group B was Spain and Portugal. That was easy, even if they didn't make it look that easy. And Group C, damn it! I had France and Denmark in my original preview, but then I changed it to Peru finishing in second because I'm an idiot, apparently, which just goes to show you that you should trust your instincts, everyone. That's the lesson here. In Group D, I had Argentina and Croatia. Nailed it! Group E, it was Brazil and Switzerland, and I said Brazil and Serbia. And it should have been Serbia if they didn't give up a late goal to Switzerland. Still bitter about it. And then Group F was Sweden and Mexico. And you know what? It doesn't matter what I said in that one. Group G was Belgium and England. That was easy. Group H was Colombia and Japan, and I said Colombia and Senegal. So I got 13 out of 16 picks correct, which is not too shabby. Alonso. Then I didn't have time to do a round of 16 preview because I was traveling. So let's just pretend that I got all of them right, which would be a correct assumption, and jump to the quarterfinals where I said that France would beat Uruguay, and I nailed it. And then I said Brazil would beat Belgium, and they should have. I blame Fernandinho for not being as good as Casemiro. Yes, I know that is pretty harsh, but it's true. And Croatia beating Russia, that was right, and England beating Sweden. So I got 3 out of 4 right. England beating Sweden, that didn't really come off right. And then I said France and England would face each other in the final, so I only got 1 out of those 2 right, because England decided to lay an egg at the end of their game against Croatia, and then I said France would win in the final. So if I'm doing my math right, I was about 98% correct on my picks, give or take about 20%. It's pretty good. And next up is number 10, Germany, who, despite all of the talent on their team and being defending champions, crashed out in the group stages, which proves yet again that you should never, ever give the manager a contract extension before the World Cup, because I think that f***s with the team. We had that here in the States with Jurgen Klinsmann, and he made some weird-ass decisions after he got his contract extension, like leaving Landon Donovan off of the World Cup team because he had the job security, which is crazy. Why would he do that? I'm still pissed about it. So, I mean, do you think Yogi Löw makes different decisions if his job is on the line? Of course he does. And he might have even brought Leroy Sané to the tournament. I know I would have. And up next, it's number 9, Leo Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. 2 of the GOATs who will always be compared to each other and to the other GOATs of the past and in the future, whether they like it or not. Well, they couldn't lead their respective countries to the hardest trophy to win in sports because they either A, didn't play well enough, maybe missed a penalty, or 2. B, don't have good enough teammates, which is why they play better for their clubs than their countries. C, they have below average managers, or D, all of the above. I'll let you decide. And now it's time for number 8 and Senegal, who I predicted to get second in their group, and they did get second in their group, but had to settle for third behind Japan on fair play points, which is the first time this tiebreaker has ever been used because they had a few more yellow cards than the Japanese and they were sent home, and that is harsh. And so was VAR throughout the event. Harshly correct, I should say, because most serious infractions were scrutinized and usually I'll say ruled the right way, but there were mistakes too, which is fine, those happen, I can accept that. But my big problem was when the center refs actually used it. Sometimes they would do it and sometimes they would wave it off when it was clear that they should use it and just take that 1 minute to get a better look. Is it that hard? I mean, look at the final. Imagine if the VAR officials ruled that Griezmann's dive, or the foul that he drew, that led to France's free kick, that led to them taking a 1-0 lead on an own goal was a dive and never gave that free kick in the first place. Then I think we would be talking about a much different scoreline than 4-2 though I still think France would have won. Overall though, I really like VAR, and I think it will only continue to be used with greater efficiency moving forward, and that's a good thing. And now sitting in number 7, it's Spain, because first off, their federation has ego issues. I mean, so what if Real Madrid hired your then current manager, Juan Lopetegui, as their new manager a few days before the World Cup started? Is it really that big of a deal? Now, sure, he should have told you and all of the players as the process was happening and then becoming a reality, but was it worth throwing off your World Cup to make a point to Real Madrid that you're the big man in this situation and that they need to stand down? And yes, Fernando Hierro was a terrific replacement to find in a pinch, but I don't think he got the most out of his players outside of setting a record for meaningless passes. And coming in at number 6, it's Mexico and England, because I'm not sure just how good either one of these teams truly are. Mexico won 2 games and lost 2 games, and England won 3 games and lost 3 games, which are bang average records for all the hype they received at different points during this World Cup. I'm just saying. And then at number 5, it's Sweden and Denmark, because you can't sleep on the Scandinavians, who both got farther than any African and North American teams, and just as far as any South American countries too. Well, that was just Sweden, not Denmark. And I only bring this up because my family is Danish, so I wanted to give this tiny region of the world some love. And then at number 4, it's Neymar, because with Brazil figuring out a way to lose to Belgium in the quarterfinals, and I'm still bitter about it, yes, I'm upset. Neymar missed out on the opportunity to become the front runner for the one award, the Ballon d'Or, that we all know that he desperately wants, which now may go to someone from France since they won the World Cup. Though I think they have so much talent on their team, those players could split the vote, because I could see some people going, oh man, it's Antoine Griezmann for sure. And like, what are you talking? It's Paul Pogba. Like, no, dude, it's Kylian Mbappe. I'd be like, no, it's N'Golo Kanté. So there's no clear front runner on the French squad, which means Luka Modric could take it this year for clearly being the best player on Croatia during their incredible run to the final and for winning the Champions League again. So in summation, I'm sorry, Neymar, it's not going to be yours this year. And then at number 3, it's Eden Hazard and Thibaut Courtois, because they prove that it doesn't matter how old you are or how good of a player you are or how big the competition is, you're still going to find a way to piss and moan if you lose, which is what they both did after losing to France, saying they would rather play with this Belgium team and lose than play the anti-football that France played and win. And this makes me happy that they're being big giant babies, because that justifies my actions when I act like a big giant baby by blaming everything and everyone else but myself when things don't go my way. So thank you guys. I really appreciate it. You're great role models. And at number 2, it's France, because after leaving some big names at home like Alexander Lacazette and Anthony Martial and Karim Benzema, manager Didier Deschamps took these 23 players that for me easily had the most talent and potential of any team in the tournament, and they actually followed through on this talent and potential by winning their second World Cup 20 years after they won their first, which is no easy feat. In fact, they were so favored to win the tournament, or at least they were in my opinion, because they were stacked in every position. I didn't have the courage to pick them as my overall winner, thinking that they wouldn't do it. So congratulations to them for proving me wrong, and for not always playing great in their 7 games in Russia, but for always finding a way to win, which is a hallmark of a great champion. And finally at number 1, it's time for my top 11 players of the tournament, and holy fuck, this was tough. Also, I know I'll be blinded by the most recent games, for better or for worse, because we all have super short-term memories these days, but here's who I'm going with in a 4-3-3 formation. And Courtois in goal, which it could have gone, the starting position that is, to Subasic or Lloris had they had a better final, but they didn't. And then I almost put Pickford in here too, because his saves and leadership did a lot to give England the belief that they could do it, but I thought Courtois was the steadiest from beginning to the end. Also, I want to give some honorable mention shout-outs to Kasper Schmeichel and Memo Ochoa, because they were pretty good too. And then in the back line, I had Trippier at right back, Varane and Granqvist in the middle, and Lucas Hernandez on the left. And do I need to explain myself here? Because you want to know what I'm thinking. Okay, fine, I think Trippier, and Varane are pretty obvious, but I went with Granqvist because even though the captain of Sweden looks like he should be the store manager at Office Depot and who has a worse dad bod than I do, the guy did everything that he could to help his team, including scoring some big goals while heroically defending at all times. So maybe I picked him because I like to believe that my style of playing with all my heart is very similar to how he plays, and I recognize a kindred spirit. And then I had Hernandez at left back because he was on the best defensive team in this tournament, who also happened to be the champions, and I couldn't think of anyone who played better. Also, honorable mentions to the other defenders I was considering are as such: Benjamin Pavard, Diego Godin, and Jerry Mina. And then in midfield, I'm rolling with Luka Modric and N'Golo Kanté and Philippe Coutinho, who, despite that sitter that he fluffed against Belgium, I thought he was excellent throughout this tournament, and with all due respect to Neymar. And yes, I know you're gonna have a big issue with that one, okay? You'd be like, where's Pogba? Where's De Bruyne? Where's Rakitic? Where's Casemiro? Where's Golovin? Where's Cheryshev? Where's Isco? Where's Perisic? Well, I'll tell you, they're on my honorable mentions list, okay? And then for my front three, I'm going with Kylian Mbappe and Eden Hazard out on the wings, and Romelu Lukaku up top, because all three for me were the best in their positions throughout the World Cup. And don't come at me about Harry Kane and how he should be in there because he won the Golden Boot. No, he shouldn't. But he should be on my honorable mentions list alongside Antoine Griezmann. Have you heard of him? Edinson Cavani, Mario Mandzukic, Neymar, Ronaldo, Messi, Inui, Irving Lozano, and Amrabat. So did I name every player now? Probably not, because you're gonna tell me who I missed. I know it. Also, and this is a bonus hit, I just want to say that after putting out over 40 videos in the last 41 or 42 days and giving it everything that we have during the World Cup and during our pickup game tour, Mike K, Mikko, and I are going to take a little break so we can recharge our batteries. Also, and this is speaking only for me, I'm feeling pretty worn down. And as I learned in my previous career as an athlete, resting is just as important as putting in the hard work. You need to have that balance to get the most out of what you're capable of, which is why I always appreciated my off season, because I got 2 to 3 weeks to sit and reflect on the season that just happened and breathe without having any pressure to perform, and I love that. It was incredibly helpful to me and my mental health before I geared up to do it all over again and to do it even better than I did it before. So to finish, I love that we have this community, Warm Ballers for life. I love that all of you exist. You're the best people on YouTube, and I'm biased, but it's true. And I love all the support that you give me online or in person at pickup games. It means so much to me that this work means something to you. Which means I cannot wait to get it going again when I drop my next video, which will be my Premier League predictions on Monday, August 6th, and then all the other leagues after that. So turn on your notifications, circle it on your calendar so you do not miss when it happens. And then please, for me, have a good few weeks, suckers. I'll miss you. Later.